It changed the title.
It
See?
says it says
Don't.
Allison Fisher joins Dogging It, which by
No,
the
it
way
doesn't.
she
No,
never
it
came
doesn't.
on.
No, it doesn't.
Well, on mine it does.
Yeah, that's because you're behind. So look, folks out there, if you're just joining, Molina Mike is dogging it already. But thanks for joining us. We're looking at what is this Saturday morning? I'm about to head out to the soccer pitch. That's what they call it, the pitch.
Pitch.
Yeah, the pitch. What do you got planned for today, Molina?
Lots of packing, getting ready for Derby, hanging out with my
Nice.
girls, but finishing up laundry, all that good stuff before a big trip. So
Nice. Well,
yeah.
guys, let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. We got just a little tidbit of a show for you today. Talk about some of the things going on in pool. It's kind of a busy week. And I remember you and I wanting to connect, but you were at Handshoes Compound again in the middle of nowhere, had no internet. So weren't able to do that. But okay, we got Robin Bixler in there, says we sound great. Thanks for joining, Robin. Appreciate that. But yeah, Melina, what going into this week, as things got cooking, what were some of the things that kind of piqued your interest? I know we had the Mora and Tyler Steyer match that wrapped up yesterday or 2 days ago, I think.
Few days back. Yeah, a few
Yeah,
days back.
what'd you think about that match?
I mean, I think John showed a lot of heart. Showed a lot of fight throughout that match. Tyler showed what kind of devastating break that he could have. Uh, I remember after he lost to John, I forgot when I talked to him because they played in Vegas after the Mosconi Cup, and when I was talking with Tyler, he said, "Listen, man, I ain't really been breaking the balls head on in months because I've been playing these predator events where I'm breaking from the rail and you know all these things that like usually with pool players you'll hear a lot of excuses. With Tyler, it made a lot of sense,
Yeah.
So it looks like he got his break dialed in and at a good time for a lot of coin. So yeah, congratulations to him.
Admittedly, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I was following the score online. He jumps out to a big lead, and people were it's over, and then John just storms back, got right back into the match. I mean, what more do you want when you're watching a long set like that, right? Like, remember the Shane and Dennis match you were at, where Dennis made that incredible comeback? That's sometimes in those races to 75 or races to 100. Sometimes you could just get a guy up by 10 or 12 games and stays up by 10 or 12 games the whole time. And to me,
Like
that's kind
Federer.
of boring. Yeah. But that match certainly didn't seem like it was boring. The chatter online about it was great. Folks were talking about the heart that John showed to get back in it. They were talking about how Tyler's break was just a little too much to overcome in the end, I think. And it just goes to show because I think at least I heard one analysis of it that John probably played a little better after the break, but Tyler's break was just too dominant to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the top 5 10 ball breakers on earth when he's got it dialed in and his timing is right. And yeah, I mean, John's technical savviness you can't discredit at all. I mean, his one pocket game has just gone through the roof. I feel like over the last 12 months, he stays in action. Credit to John. The guy is just a complete, like completely made of steel. He fights for the cash. That's for sure. Down to the last ball. So, but yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do, man? I'm sure both of them like their spot too, like coming into it.
You think
Like
we'll see number three? Because this was the rematch, right? Tyler when they played out at Griff's. Tyler had the lead and looked like he was on cruise control, and John came back and got him at the wire. And now Tyler wins this match. You think we'll see another one
I don't. I mean,
like
if they do, it'd be great.
Rocky three, Apollo
If
Creed, or
I mean, if they do, it'd be great, and I would certainly tune in. Their style of play can be a little rough at times for me. Like, just it can get a little boring. Um, like personally, but I would love to see other guys go in there and
calling
and
people boring.
and just listen. Federer's boring. Federer's boring to watch sometimes playing rotation. The guy just never gets out of line. So I'd like to see someone like Jesus honestly come back and play Tyler again. They got a little bit of a history, um, a few years back. So I'd like to see
Speaking of
and with John as
Jesus,
well. He's got a history with John as well.
speaking of Jesus, I think you posted on Windows the comment that he said he'll take the 8 and out against Fedor, and he got snap called on that one.
Yeah, I think they both love their side. Going back to that, yeah, I do.
Who do you
I
like in
Listen,
that game?
getting the 8, you got the 8
Yeah,
out.
well, 8 and 9 playing 10 ball. So, if for those of you at home that didn't see it, Jesus posted something that said he'll play Fedor getting the 8 and out in 10 ball. And Jason Sword was like, "Deal, let's go." And so,
Listen,
uh, yeah,
I I think Jesus has got that kind of upside. I think Jesus has got that kind of ceiling. Will he get there? I don't know as far as being in that class, but I think he can get in that class. That kid is smooth as butter, and he's got a big break to back it up with. His safety plays maybe is a little is probably his weakest link, but everyone knows he's about as good. Nah, maybe not as good, but right below Federer when it comes to jumping. So I think all that just lined itself up to be a very competitive matchup. Now, there's a lot of players that Jesus can probably play ahead of time, but when you're getting the 8 out, I got to be honest with you, I kind of like Jesus in that game. I do, especially
yeah,
using
I
a
think
wood
so.
using a wood rack. That's the part. That's a big part of it.
I
Using
mean,
a
when
wood
you
rack.
take a player that plays the level of Jesus and say you only have to run out to the 8 ball, I mean, I know that Fedor can get on a roll and put packages together, but I'd have to think that Jesus can do that too, only running out to the 8 ball. I mean,
I
even
think a
even
lot of it's more mental for Jesus. I think he still thinks that maybe he's not, maybe he's necessarily in that group of player. I think he still kind of gets a little awestruck at times with some of these top guns. Um, but no, I think he's from an ability standpoint, that kid's there or he's about to get there. I do. It's here where he's got to do it. But I
yeah, he needs
love
that
I
breakthrough.
love barking at those two guys because he did not go any lower in the totem pole. He went straight for filler. He said filler or fetter.
That's pretty courageous.
I like that though, man. Go and compete. I mean,
Yeah,
you want to you from a money standpoint, you're trying to get your money in as safely as you can, right? That's why you're asking for the weight, and then nobody would say that he's needs to play him right now, even. But yeah, I think it'd be a great game. I'd love to go and watch that game.
yeah. Hey, we got a bunch of people joining us. Just want to reach out and say thank you for that. Patrick McKinney said that I guess John and Tyler played 4 times now. Sorry about that. I guess I missed that one. What's their record, Patrick? It's they got to be at least.
I think it's
Four-
3-1 Tyler.
yeah. Okay, that's
I
interesting.
think
Rick Glasscock, what's up? Jose Concepcion, Tom Gorman, how's it going, man? Keith David, thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it, guys. If you are not supporting us on Patreon and then you'd like to see more of these podcasts, us talking about pool, do us a favor, head on over to patreon.com/dogging it. We'd love to have your support over there. For those of you that don't know, every single day we put content up on there. We do a question of the day, and let's just say we're at liberty to kind of speak a little more freely there because it's a
well,
limited
we
group.
just we
Today,
just went like an hour.
Melina
Don't
just
be
called
threw under the
out.
bus.
Today, Melina just called out
Don't be.
some professional. It was really bad. Actually, I didn't let him get away with it. I was I named the player that he was talking about, and so if
Knife
you want to
in the
see that,
back. Knife in the back.
you get added
Legitimately.
you get added to the Patreon group. You also get added to a private Facebook group if you're at a certain tier. So check it out, dogging it on Patreon. We appreciate it. So, Mike, let's shift our attention to the look. Joe Johnson says yes, 3-1 Tyler. So maybe John doesn't want any more of that smoke. I don't know. Shift our attention to the Kamui Women's World 9 ball in Atlantic City, New
I like the
Jersey.
I like those comments, you guys. By the way,
Yeah, keep them coming, guys.
I hope Joey sees it. By the way, anyway, it's
Yeah.
about our question of the day.
Yeah. Oh, actually, when did we was that today's question of the day or the one that we did for tomorrow? We record them sometimes
No,
where
this one was
you called
today.
out the okay.
Oh, that was for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so Jenny, wait till tomorrow. It gets even worse. So, Women's World 9 ball. You want to share the screen, Mike, and we'll talk about some of the stuff here. I'll share it. There we go. We got some of the matches up here. This was the first round. Um, not a whole lot of surprises from what I can see. Uh, I remember following. Didn't you say that Margaret was like real close to winning that match?
Oh
Peflova?
yeah, yeah. That first round, Margaret was up. I think like 5-1 against Rublin. I'm sorry, Cheska. And then in a blink of an eye, because that girl just runs rock so easily, man. I mean, it's so sick how easy she makes the game look. Before you knew it, it was like I want to say like 4-5 or 5-5, and then she got a fluke to keep it going, and she didn't run out from the 5-1 down. But yeah, it was a pretty sick match, man. Amazing, amazing. But the wing balls go on in with a lot of consistency, so it's like one mistake can really cost you. I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of big names with wins. Kelly Fisher cruised over Katie Cool, and then Allison Fisher had a tight one. She eked it out 7-6. For those of you that don't know, we had Allison Fisher in studio 3 days ago. Couldn't get the audio working. We dogged it so bad. Felt so bad. Allison, we were like 40 minutes trying to hook up the audio, and she stuck with us the whole time. She was like, "Guys, let's try again. Let's try again." She was awesome. So we're gonna make that work. We're gonna get it in
I
here. I think
I
her internet was
literally
bad.
I literally leave these guys alone for one show, and the wheels just come off.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't one show, and the train is off the tracks. I can't
You're
handle
well known for your technical expertise, let me tell you. Savannah Easton with a first round win over Kimberly Cullen. I don't know if you caught that match, Mike, but
it.
I did see a picture of her and kind of her preparation and stuff. And I made a comment online about the way she just approaches the ball. She does it the right way,
Who's
which
this?
is Savannah Easton.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, great fundamentals. Yeah.
And she was on the TV table too, right?
Oh yeah, that girl stays on the TV table, son.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pia Filler won her first round match. Some other ones. Bethany Sykes, player from Maryland, I used to compete against, got a first round win. Sophia Mass beat Brittany Bryan. Is that an upset, Mike?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, 100%. It's an upset. Yeah, great. Kudos, shout out to Sophia for doing that. I think Brittany's. Uh, I want to say she's been in a semifinal of. I want maybe it was the Vegas event last year, Joe, where
Yeah.
it was really her first event back competing after the pandemic, and Brittany was in. I want to say a semi. So big win for Sophia there. Big win.
Yeah, and when I say is this an upset, you've heard me talk about this before, but you beat somebody that you're not supposed to beat, and then maybe you beat them again, and then before you know it, that's how it becomes not an upset anymore. So congratulations to Sophia there. Quite a good win. Kind of perusing through the rest of the first round. Christina cruised 7-1.
Perusing,
Yeah, we're just perusing. Don't
perusing.
mind me.
I need that in my
Uh, can
arsenal.
I just say that while I'm really excited about this tournament, I hate this non-bracket format of looking at the scores. Anybody with me? Anybody in the chat? It's just hard to visualize a bracket. I understand they do qualification rounds and they do a final of 16, but I don't like looking at it this way. I just kind of feel like it's not great. Anyway, Kelly Fisher wins
You
her
sound
second
old,
round
Joe. You sound old.
match. Okay.
You do. You sound old.
Cheska, Allison, Savannah kind of hit a speed bump there. A good player from Turkey played really well against her. Um, looking through the second round.
Speaking of flukes, Mike said that that Jasmine and Karen Core match was a little fluky at the end. He said that Jasmine was running out, dogs the ball completely at Hill, and then ends up hooking her on the point. He's on the 8 ball, on the
Yeah,
8 ball, dogs the 8, ends up she should have scratched. Instead of scratching, she hooks her on the point, forces Karen to kick two rails fouls at Hill. Rest history, son.
that's brutal. Isn't it brutal? I mean, now look,
9 ball. It's 9 ball, right?
I've said this time and time again, and I'll repeat it here today. There was probably something that Karen could have done earlier in that match that true champions will go back and focus on that when the score was 4-3 or whatever, that they made some mistake that led them to ultimately getting some terrible roll. But when people focus on that only that terrible roll at the end, then they don't get better, right? Because it wasn't that they did something wrong, it's that they got a bad roll and they lost the match. So I'm sure Karen, being the professional
Hey,
that she is, will go
Mi-
back
Mr.
and
Miyagi, Karen Core's been through it, buddy.
I
She's
know,
been
that's
through
what
it.
I'm
She's
saying.
been through it. She's a
You're
monster.
making my point. So on the elimination side, first round, reading this non-bracket, looking through some of these matches, Fefalova survives. A couple other highlights here. Lori John, your friend, got eliminated there, 7-4. Brittany Bryant got knocked off by Jennifer Beretta. And then let's
Other
see what
Hill.
else. Emily Duddy survives 7-6 over Canadian player. Second round on the loser side. We have some other matches here. Anything stand out to you from these matches?
No, let's go
It-
with who's left, Joe. We've been watching and following the last few days. Let's go to who's left. Keep on
okay,
keep
let's
on
go to who's
cruising.
left.
Keep on
All right,
cruising,
fine.
man.
We're going to
This
come
is
down to the winners qualification round. So the ones that won this one are going to be in the final 16. We got Kelly Fisher who cruised 7-0. It looks like she's playing great. I haven't been able to catch any of her matches,
we
but
talked
she's
about her
good.
briefly in one of our question of the days, but yeah, I mean, how strong does she play? Just over the course of her career, and then still being a threat. She's also defending champion, so there's some pressure there. And we know how hard it is to repeat and pull, especially when you talk about world class fields and now that all these other players are back, like the Asians. So kudos to Kelly. Yeah, you can't say enough about her.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining. Jason Foster, how's it going? Corby Dayhoff says that Rubelin's playing well, um, but she actually lost this match to Cheska. What a ending to that match. A lot of people thought that Cheska was trying to pocket the 9 ball straight in the corner, but to an experienced player, you could easily see the two railer in the side. I mean, it was pretty basic. Did you see that shot?
No, I didn't. No idea what you're talking about. Now I want to
You
know.
didn't see that shot?
No, I didn't. Oh,
Oh my gosh!
you're talking about Rubelin, and that wasn't the match against Cheska though.
Oh, that was it?
No, no,
Yeah.
no,
What,
no.
what
I know
match
what
was
you're
that?
talking about. That
Oh,
was
was
the
that an
round
earlier
before.
match? Okay,
That
I
was the
hadn't
one
thought of it.
against Amber Chin. Amber
Oh,
Chin
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
Yeah,
Rubelin. Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, that. Oh, you. I mean, I would have gone on tilt. I
when
mean,
she
just
shot that 8 ball on the side, I was like, "Why did she play it that way? Why did she hit it so hard and came back close to the rail and then 2 rails back in the side? What a play."
just
Anyway,
completely, just completely whacked that ball. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was Rubelin, wasn't it? Did they have the score wrong?
What do you
Or was that
mean
a different match? Jenny,
on
help
there?
us out.
You're saying Rubelin beat Cheska? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, what happened? They have Cheska winning 7-5. Is that true? I
You're
don't know.
talking about a different match though, Joey.
All right,
The
fine.
one you're talking about anyway.
I'm gonna give up. Can I just wave the white flag and give up on this
Joey hasn't
one?
seen the ball. Joey hasn't seen one match.
I've seen some highlights. So, but let's point this out. Kelly Fisher, Allison Fisher, both advance. Pia Filler advances, playing very well.
See, how strong is
Um,
that, man? Cheska's like in her early 20s, and then you got Allison and Kelly who have been just dominating for decades now. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway,
okay.
I
Okay,
digress.
so Jason Foster sets us straight. Rubelin versus Amber Chen. So you were right, Molina. I hate when you're right.
Shocking.
Thank you, Jason. So they're advanced. These 8 players have advanced. The ones that won in the winners qualification round. So we're on to
Well,
losers round 3.
you missed a
What?
few. Who else advanced? Pia advances over
Pia
Christina.
advances. Jasmine got knocked off by a German player.
I've never heard of that German player, by the
Melanie
way.
Susenguth. You've never heard of
No,
her?
no. Mm-mm.
Oh, where have
Mm-mm.
you been?
You were
Looks
waiting on
like
that
Chu
one,
knocks off the Japanese player. Christina got edged out 7-6 there, but she's still alive. And Yuki Hiraguchi knocks off Wan Lin Wang. There
So
we
all
go.
these girls are through to the final 16 single elimination. The races are going to extend to 9, and then they face the winner out of not this round, but they got to face one more. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so this is the next round. So these folks, once they win, they'll advance to the next round. Again, this bracket's kind of weird. It's hard to read. I
It's not
I'm
that
not
hard.
against. Let me just say, I'm not opposed to listing out the matches this way, but I also would like to see a bracket. Can we do that? Can we have a bracket? Like when we go to digital pool, we're going to show you the Bigfoot brackets. How beautiful is that laid out? You get to see the whole story. Anyway. Okay.
Let's let's
Okay.
keep on. Let's keep on.
Yeah. So these matches are underway right now. It appears. Let's see. Fefilova's up 3-1 over Kim Witzel. Ashley Burrows is down 2-0. Karen Corr's up 2-0. What if Karen Corr could put in a big run here? I mean, somebody mentioned that earlier. Like, wow, Karen Corr's still playing. You know, she's what a talent she is. Jennifer Beretta trailing 2-0.
I think
We got
that's just part of pool, though, right? Like you can have longevity in it, and you can still compete at a high level. Look at Earl in the Mosconi Cup, right?
yeah,
It's that's the beauty of 9 ball, especially the way they're playing. I think it's one on the spot, triangle rack. So, yeah.
yeah. And so the winners of these will pick up these 8 players that are waiting. Christina Zlatova. That Turkish player that we talked about before. I'm not going to try Kibaroglu. Rubelin, Wujin Lee, Wenlin Wang, Christina Takach, uh, Nina Tani, and Jasmine Ocean.
Good
So
job on
a
the
lot of big names
pronunciation.
still in this event. It's going to be a great tournament from here. Tell them how they can watch it, Molina.
Uh, World Beer TV on YouTube, or yeah, I think that's it. I don't know how the other tables have gone. I think you can watch the tables, but I think you have to pay through Kazoom, if I'm not mistaken. So, which is well worth it, by the way, because Kazoom offers a great angle and live scoring. So, or just follow through here on the Predator Pro Beard Series website. So,
All right, you and I making picks. You're going to pick one. I'm going to pick one. Who you got?
you're gonna pick one like 3/4 of the way through the tournament.
Yes.
All right, who do you got?
Let's see. I'm going to pick.
You're gonna pick one lost side and then one winner. One
Yeah, let's
winner.
do that. Let's do
Okay.
that. So we'll go up
Okay.
to the winner's qualification. You get to pick one from here. I get to pick one from here. I'll let you pick this one first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chow for sure. Number 86 on the winner side. Chow, give me Chow from Taiwan. I think she's yeah, I think she's due again.
Okay. I'll take Cheska. I'm writing this
Shock,
down.
shocking. How much are we gonna bet, by the way?
20. Ciao. Okay. One from the
No,
qualify or the
at least buy dinner or something. I'm not letting you off the hook for 20 because I'm stealing here. No, we gotta up the
50.
bet.
50.
Dinner, dinner's good.
All right. Pick. Now you get to pick one from this side as well.
Hold on, I just got the ace up my sleeve here.
Oh no.
Hold on a
Where
minute.
where
I
was the
just
wake up call, guys? What the hell?
hold on. Let me
What's
switch.
that, Finozo?
Where was the wake up call?
Oh,
I
sorry,
called you,
buddy.
Mike. I
I
literally
set a
called
wake up call for 7:30.
you.
Hey, Mike
My,
Home, $20 is a respectable bet, okay?
first of all,
Come on.
Pinozo, thanks for showing up.
Thank
Second of all, Joey's trying to bait me into picking horses here, but he only wants to fire $20. Let him know how nitty he is, please.
$20.
Please, yeah.
$20 a match or $20 a player or what?
No, that
Exactly. See,
lasts
I like
longer.
Mike's style. Yeah.
It'll last longer. It'll last longer.
Well,
All right.
last longer. You're already down to the final 16.
Getting
Yeah,
there.
well, so we've already picked one from the 8 qualifiers. And so
Show the
Mike
winners
picked
again, Joe.
Chow and I picked Cheska. So
Who
two
would you
Asian
take?
players.
Who would you take, Mike? Go back to the winners, Joe. There you go.
Well, I got the winners here. Well, I don't know. I'm going to take Kelly. I mean,
Defending champ.
Wow.
she's really playing well. I mean, I know it's kind of a, you know, taking a non-Asian is against Mike's religion, but but she's really been playing well. She's been breaking like a monster. So yeah, I like her chances.
What
And since
what do you make of these, like the Kellys and Allisons and Karens that are still coming out here and competing? Rubelin being, I think Jenny mentioned, like early 40s.
yeah,
And still making waves and being legitimate threats in these world championships, Mike.
I think it's great for the game. I think it shows their staying power and how committed they are to sticking with the game. You see Allison get back into it and being more committed. I don't think it necessarily says that the talent is not as deep as far as the young players. I think there are some really great young players, and it's going to get, believe me, in a real hurry, it's going to get a lot tougher for a Kelly or a Rubelin or an Allison to win one of these events. And you hate to beat a dead horse, but there's 3 players from China who aren't here who would probably be our number 1, 2, and 3 picks if we were pulling right now.
Shasha, right? Seeming Chin, Sasha, and who am I missing, Mike?
Yuhan.
Oh yeah, Hanyu. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
so
definitely.
you talk about 3 women who won.
Not a doubt.
I think 6 of the last 9 world championships. So that's a pretty big hole in the bracket. But that takes nothing away from Kelly and Allison and Rubelin, who still play at a really high level. They're not scuffling by because the players that they're playing are drilling balls into the rail. They're playing. They're still playing really good pool.
Rublin drilled the ball into the rail and still won. But anyway,
Yeah, she drilled the ball into two rails and still won.
That was dead. It was a dead
that,
two
that,
railer. That's
that
what I was
was a
telling
It
hanger.
was
Molina.
a dead two. It was a dead two railer.
How brutal is it to lose that way? Oof.
Well, there were three matches like that went hill and were just absolute flukes that won the match, which was brutal to watch. So
Yeah, Ren
uh,
says you can't sleep on Rublin. Rublin's certainly going to be a contender. I mean, she's one of my favorite players. Watching her win the World 10 Ball years ago, and even that match with Cheska's real competitive. I feel like this tournament, and it sounds real cliche, boys, but like you got to get real lucky to win it because of the format. You know,
Well,
I
it's
think
going up to race to 9 now, right, Mike? Once they qualify,
yeah,
we get down to the
yeah,
final 16. It'll be a race to 9. Um,
but that
but
break is
what's
soft, man. That break is real soft. Like
it is.
yeah. I mean, it's like you're almost guaranteed to get a ball down. You know,
Yeah,
and with decent shape. So
yeah. I did not see any of the Jasmine match, but she got handled pretty easily, huh?
yeah, it appears.
And
We
I
were
don't really know that. I don't really know who that German player is.
neither do
That's what I
we.
was saying. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
All right. Who are we picking from the loser side, Joe?
Okay, let's scroll down. So on
Did
the
Wei go 2 and out, or is she still in?
I don't think she's in the event, Mike. Is she?
Oh, she was in the event. I think
Oh,
she
is she?
went two. I think she went two and
Oh,
out. To
well,
be
that just
honest with
shows
you.
wow,
That just shows how strong a field it is. In
Yeah.
yeah. So these are the 16 players playing right now up on the screen. And so we're going to pick one player out of either these or the 8 that are waiting to pick them up, which are right here below. So, by the way, Pinozzo, who did you? Oh, you took Kelly. Let me write that down.
Yes.
By the way, I wanted to bet 20. Melina said that's too nitty. So we're going to have to bet more. Pinozzo, maybe we'll
20,
bet dinner.
25?
Yeah,
yeah,
25.
20,
25.
2250 says Joe.
Jeez.
All
Hey,
right.
Melina, somebody in the chat, Brock, wants to know who won between JRB and Tedder. Did you hear anything about that?
I crashed out. I fell asleep. I didn't even get to watch the end of Tony and Josh. So
Send somebody a message. Find out.
yeah.
All right. So
So
I'm going to
Karen's
take on this side of the bracket. I'm not taking anybody that's coming out of the matches right now. I just feel like that's a little
You're
that's
not.
going to be a tough task because you're taking a chance there. They got to win that match, then they got to win the next match. So I'm going to go with the next grouping, and I'm going to take Rubalin. So I'm going all Philippines. What about
Well,
you, Pinozzo?
hey, Mr. Lock Artist, you should definitely want to up the bet then.
Mr. Lockhart.
Hmm? Huh?
You're
I mean,
taking all the
God,
Taiwanese. Get out of here.
one. All right, who do you got,
You
Mike?
know, man, you guys are going all Asian. I got to give the Europeans some love since there's no American flags in there.
I know who
Uh,
Mike's gonna pick.
I do too.
Do
I
you?
do. Yeah.
Christina.
Jasmine. Oh,
Which
No,
one?
Christina.
Takach?
Christina.
Takach?
Takach?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that changes things. See, I'm over here playing.
Why
y'all,
would that change things for you?
y'all are playing checkers. I'm playing chess over here, boys. That's why I'm letting y'all pick first. I think I'm gonna have to go with. See, I need to think about who's gonna get the better matchup on the next round. So
Yeah,
Oh
where's the
God, you're getting way
brackets?
into
I
it.
see the
yeah,
listing, but where's the brackets?
Oh,
Are
don't
they
get
in
me
there?
started on that, Pinozzo. No
I'm gonna
brackets.
go with. I'm gonna go with Slateva. Yeah, I'm gonna go with
No,
Slateva.
really?
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen,
I
all
was
she's
thinking
got to
about
do is
her
win.
too.
All she's got to do is win one more. She's through the final 16. That's all we really
Okay.
want, And then whatever happens, roll the dice, boys. Yeah.
I mean, okay. I got you. All right. So Kamui Women's World 9 Ball. You can check it out on World Billiard TV on YouTube. So we will check back in later this weekend. Tell you who won. But check it out for yourself. So switching gears, Molina, you're headed to Derby, right?
Yep. I think Mike's
Tell
going
folks.
too, right?
I'm going. Aren't you
Oh,
going,
you're
Joey?
going
I
to.
thought you were taking a flight there to match up.
I'm debating whether to come out Monday evening, stay for a couple days, and then I got a little business thing in Austin, so I might fly
Oh,
right from there to Austin.
yeah.
So
I don't get in until Thursday. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
okay,
He waited till right after Joey leaves.
yeah.
Shocking. Burn,
So
Joe.
Melina, tell folks your plans for out there. We know what Pinozzo's going to do. He's going to be rubbing elbows with the Pools Elite, but what are you going to do?
First of all, like how the guy at the door checks for IDs, Mike checks Fargo's. If you're not 720 or above, don't even
He doesn't
walk up
talk
to
to you.
You
Pinozo.
don't
Yeah, that
exist
doesn't.
in my
Yeah,
world.
don't even
Ain't
walk
nobody
up
got
to him.
time for that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, definitely not Mike. But no, so I fly out first thing
You
in the
have a bunch
morning
of 721s coming up introducing themselves too next week.
with the Fargo rate in hand, ready to show. No, I'll be out there tomorrow afternoon. We don't have a home base to do like a podcast, but I'm gonna try to find one, and then we're gonna just do a whole bunch of stuff on the fly, whether it's on my phone with the gimbal. Uh, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a lot of up in the air, but we're gonna be creative and on our toes. And shout out to some of our sponsors, Fort Worth Birds, who's sponsoring the trip along with Hard Times and in Sacramento. So yeah, we're looking forward to it though. It's gonna be like a lot of stuff, and we're gonna be posting
Yeah.
things like all day long. So
And one of the things that we're doing a little more of, guys, so check it out on Windows Open, also Pool Player Podcast. We're doing more reels. So Melina's going to be doing those 1 minute videos in portrait mode, doing a bunch of that stuff. I know you saw my top 10 lists I've been doing on Pool Player Podcast, so check them out. Uh, one thing that I love about Molina is sometimes he doesn't know what he's going to do, but he always does something. So it's not always great, trust me, but check it out.
listen, we're gonna jump on in, and we're gonna do whatever we can until they kick me out. So yeah,
Pinozo,
You gonna do
what?
any live broadcasts of Dom sweating matches?
Yeah, maybe we'll do
yeah.
that. That's a good idea.
I mean,
Well,
just
Pinozo, what are you most looking forward to at Derby City this year?
seeing Efren again.
Hmm.
It's been a couple years. Looking forward to seeing him, and I just like the vibe of the event. I just like walking in there. You trip over great players every two steps you walk. It's just a fun event to go into. So
I thought you'd be looking forward to this call out that we had online with Del Sim,
love the photo, Dell.
who called out none other than yours truly wants to
I
play me a
know.
10
Well,
ball race.
did you see my response in that thread?
I
I
don't
said
remember.
I'm
What'd you say?
I said I'm all in as long as Joey's wearing his L&T shirt and Dell's wearing his skirt.
That completely surprised me. For those of you that don't know, that picture of me with the hair coming up, my daughter did my hair one day and she just had so much fun with it. And I posted it online just joking around, and it looks like Dell stole that, photoshopped it, put it in with his picture with his kilt. And he calls me out to play him a match, and I said, I'm booking my flight. So to be honest with you, I'm excited for the opportunity to go to Derby, but I wasn't really planning on it until I saw that, and now I think I'm gonna have to go at least for two
Yeah, you
days
kind
or
of have to
something
show
and
up at this point.
take a shot at him. I don't
I would
know.
say
We're
you
both
look soft if you don't show up, but then again, you were just wearing with the picture you just had. I don't know if you can get more soft.
we're
So.
we're both the same Fargo rate. I haven't been playing pool in a year, so
Give Dell
I'm
stealing, y'all.
I'm
Dell
coming
is
My
off some
stealing.
health
Dead
issues.
stealing.
my
I'm
res-
coming
Here
off
you
my
some
go.
response my
right
response
arms a
to
little heavy, you know.
my response is to Raymond is kilt dress tomato tomato.
I
Well,
like it.
look, the other reason I'm excited to get out there and see Dell is because I am going to Scotland in May with my wife. So
Are
I'm
you
looking
really?
forward to yeah, I'm looking forward to chatting to him with him about some places to kind of check out while I'm out there. I'm going to be out there for 5 days. We're probably going to go to London for a few days while we're out there, but it's an award trip I won from my job. So it's kind of funny how he called me out right after that happened, and then I'm going to pick his brain while I'm out there getting my brains beat in. So
So what else are you looking forward to out there other than matching up?
I've never been to the event. I followed it every year, followed how my friends doing it, and obviously who wins it and who has success, and just kind of being like I was telling Melina, I might just go out there, work during the day in the hotel room. That way I could still do the day job, and then in the evening kind of wander out into the arena, see the action going on, see all the woofing and hooting and hollering. So I just want to immerse myself in that experience and see how it is. I'm sure it's going to
You
be fun. Sure, it'll be great.
you could work all day and work all evening and still have 8 hours worth of action to watch down there.
Yeah, I just
Easily,
wouldn't get to sleep. But yeah,
easily.
from what
Right.
I hear, so no, but I'm excited to take it all in. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So by the way, that event already kicked off. So
Right.
it kicked off with the Bigfoot challenge, and so let's bring that up. We'll take a look at these brackets right here. Um, Looks like Shane Van Boning won pretty easily over Max Eberly, 11-4. I don't think
I mean,
that's a big surprise.
nobody saw that coming.
Joe, Joey went out on the limb and took Shane for 20.
Yeah,
Well,
that's exactly what Joey would do. He said, "You know what? Twist my arm. I'll
I
take
kind of
Shane.
like Shane in this. I'll fire 20 at it.
Yeah, $20 at it. Yeah.
well, Max was coming off a big win in Florida. I don't know if you saw that. He beat Tommy Kennedy down
I
there in
saw
Florida.
that. Yeah.
We really gotta work on how you rate big wins, Joe.
Is that
He
a
was,
major? Is that a
Yeah.
major, Mike?
uh,
It's a big
you
win,
guys
though, evidently.
Yeah, but the second match, and by the way, they're playing this on one table, the Bigfoot table, 10-foot table. So, basically, as one match ends, they'll start another match, and so the tournament takes a while to develop, which I think is a cool thing, right? The players are going to be there anyway, and so it's not one of these things where they're rushing to get done with it. They just take it one match at a time and they go
Right.
through the event. I really like that each year. Match number 2 was Jason Shaw versus Sky Woodward, and Jason prevails 11-4. These guys just recently matched up at Turning Stone in the final there, and what a barn burner that was. This one, Jason kind of cruised 11-4. To me, I'm not totally surprised by that. You know, when I think of Sky, obviously Sky's best game is bar table, but he's great on a 9-footer as well. But it would kind of lend you to think that maybe on the 10-footer with Jason's shot making ability,
Right.
he's favorite there. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
But
100%.
Jason's had a lot of history with success at this event. So it doesn't matter who he's going to be up against. I think he'll, at a minimum, be even money, if not a favorite, and that's from top to bottom. I think maybe if and when he ends up facing Federer, that he may be a slight dog, but it won't be by much. I think in this match with Shane, I think it's a coin flip, just given how each of them are playing right now.
Yeah.
But this is what you want to see, right? Race to 11. If you're a fan of rotation pool, for me, it doesn't get any better than the Bigfoot Challenge. I love it. It's top level competition. It's like it's not you see even safety plays are played differently, tactical battles are differently because of all the space and the length of the table. It's a beautiful game to watch. I feel like.
Would you
Yeah,
like to see this done as a full tournament and no other distractions with some big money?
Well, I mean that I can remember way back when watching I think it was Inside Pool magazine, if I'm not mistaken, was the big in Tunica was the Bigfoot tournaments out there, played on 10-footers. And I love those events, Mike. I mean, God, you're making me realize how old I am. But no, those were some of my favorite ones to watch, man, honestly. First getting into pool when I was in my early 20s was watching a lot of those events on YouTube or on live streams, man. And I can't say I love rotation as much now as I did back then. But if I'm going to watch rotation, I'd love to watch it played on the 10-foot with these top level players. And I'd love
Yeah.
to see a big money buy-in. And I mean, like, bigger than, I think everyone here is buying in for 1,000, but
Right.
I would love to see a decent money buy-in, true tournament out. It would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to see it in addition to this Pinozo, but not necessarily getting rid of this because I
Oh
think
no,
this event,
absolutely. Yeah. No. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has a unique place at Derby City now. And like I said, I really like the fact that they don't rush through the tournament. It kind of develops over the course of a week. It's
Well,
not one
no,
of these things where it's because when you look at all these other combo tournaments where they play like a one pocket, they play like banks, then they play. When you look at those events that they put together, and obviously Derby City's the biggest. We've seen other places like in Alabama, Iron City, places where they've kind of replicated that style. And I don't know, it's just to me, when you finish with one and go to the next, sometimes there's disappointment or excitement. I like the fact that this runs kind of concurrent with a lot of these events. Pretty neat.
yeah, it is. Except that like part of the reason it runs kind of at its own pace is you don't know when these players are going to be available
Yeah.
because they're play. A lot of them are playing in the banks
Everything.
or one pocket or things like that. So it's kind of catch as catch can, and so you don't have players sitting there practicing all day on a Bigfoot 10, a Bigfoot table on practicing 10 ball, getting ready for a match. They just have to jump in there when they can jump in there. That's why I kind of was alluding to the fact I would love to see a legit tournament that's straight through on this, where they're practicing on these tables, where they're preparing for matches on these tables, where you'd really get the most out of each of these players.
So I just want to kind of give my experience of playing on a 10-foot table. We used to have one here in town at the old freezers, and I got to tell you, it's not a whole lot different. When you're a accomplished pool player, which I'm not, but I watched a couple of them play, and you're playing on that 9-foot surface, and then you move to 10 foot. It's really not that much different. It sounds bad, and yeah, there are some shots where you're jacked up on the rail and you look way down the table and you have to make a difficult shot. But the other hand is you have a lot more real estate to maneuver the cue ball and to get into, spots where you're not as kind of knotted up. It's like you think about
Yeah,
bar table. What makes bar table 8 ball tough? Well, it's the
right.
fact that it's like
So much
everything's so
congestion.
confined.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's congestion. While the 10-foot table for a player like Jason Shaw, the 10-foot table is probably ideal. He'd probably prefer to play on an 11 or 12-foot table. Nothing's going to get in his way. He's just going to fire balls in from everywhere. And so I think that for these pro players to make that stretch out to a 10-foot table, it's really not a whole lot different than playing on a 9-foot table. That's just my opinion.
it's an interesting. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Wrong. No. Mm-mm. No.
What
No.
what is the what's the
No.
550 Fargo have to say about it?
Now you see. I mean, listen. You even saw games where Federer got out of line on things because the way that he's used to judging speed and coming off the rail, and his position play wasn't as sharp as we've seen it before. Shot making isn't going to be nearly as automatic on the 10-foot table as well. Plus, the other part of it is, Joe, that table out in Arizona ain't going to play the same way as that TV table out at Derby City with brand new cloth and polished balls, and it plays differently. And because of the fact that they don't get to practice it a lot, because of the fact that they don't get to play on these quite often, because I think outside of Derby, the only other one is the International Open, is that it is different, and you do see players. I don't want to say struggle because even a player like Federer has so many things that he can lean on, like shot making, but it does add a different variable, I feel, to it.
Look,
So
mark my words. Mark my words. At the end of this event, whoever's in the finals, the level of play is going to be as high as any finals on a 9-foot table. You're going to see quality on this 10-foot table. It's not even going to look like a
it's some
10-foot
of the
table.
best players in the world. How much of a limb
But
are you going
I'm,
out on there? It's I mean,
you're
look,
making
look
this
you
distinction that the
you got
10-foot
like
table is
Shane
like
and Jason on there right
you're
above
making
you.
believe there's only 2 pockets on this table. And I'm telling you, by the time we get to the finals, you're going to see scoring the same way you would see. You're going to see players breaking and running out. Trust me. Trust me.
What's the okay?
We'll have to see what the TPA is on the finals of
I'm
the
gonna get
nine
Yeah,
I'm
ball and
gonna
the
that's a
get
final
good.
of the
That's
10
a
ball is.
no,
that's
no,
a
no.
good
I'm gonna
discussion.
get Michael Salmon on here. Okay, what would you say? What's the over under on breaking runs in the final then?
I don't know, but the same as what you would get. The same as what you would get on a 9-foot table. Bam.
The same. Okay, I'm gonna say it's gonna be less. You want to fire another $20 out there, Mister Big Gambler?
Can we
Huh?
bet
I'll,
10?
I'll split it. I'll split it
Can we
with you,
bet 10?
Joey.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we bet 10?
Yeah. No, he's gonna chop his action up, Mike. 10 for me, 10 for you.
Oh,
All
There
God.
you go.
You
right, let's
guys are
keep on
nuts.
cruising,
All
boys.
right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we keep going, you already talked about it, but those 2 first-round matches set up quite an interesting second-round match. A little bit of a tough draw, but in a field like this, that's you're gonna play a great player very soon. And Shane versus Jason in round 2, that one's really gonna
Yeah,
be interesting.
juicy.
Says it's scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. So make sure to tune into that one. By the way, we'll give you all of the resources for where you can go get the pay-per-views for these. There's action rooms. There's also the main event, and so we'll
Wait,
share
wait,
that
wait,
with
wait,
you.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on there, Mister. You want to pick both players? You gotta go out on a limb here and tell me who you like.
I
You ain't
like
just gonna.
Jason. I like Jason.
That's it.
Agreed.
Okay, thanks for
Yeah,
the
I like
well.
Jason. I mean, we're
Gosh,
at that
man.
point. We're at that point with Shane where, he's probably just getting back to trying to get in stroke, get ready for the world championship. But we've seen him out on the lake quite a bit. Jason's been playing great, and I have no reason to believe that Jason's not going to win this match. What's he doing? He's putting on lights. What's
Yeah,
happening?
that's what that other one's going out.
Okay, good timing.
Well,
What do
we've been recording for like an hour already, 2 hours almost.
what do you got, Pinozo? Who you like in this one?
I like Jason. I just think that he's, he's really sharp right now.
He's in good form.
Yeah, he is.
Molina?
We're going across the board, boys.
All right.
I can't pick against Jason either. I think Jason's more motivated. I think this is his event. He looks hungry. His break looked good. Uh, yeah, I mean, he did not make that table look tough at all. I mean, he was playing just effortlessly. I feel like on there, and I mean, he's just coming off running all those balls out in the East Coast at a Dion's place. So, pocketing balls is no issue for Jason Shaw right now.
Yeah. So the other two first round matches that we saw were Roberto Gomez over Alex Pagulayan, 11-8. I don't think that's really a surprise. Uh, playing rotation. I like Roberto there. And then Federer Gorst 11-1 over DeLuna. The big surprise there, I guess, is 11-1. I mean, that's quite a spanking. We know they matched up in Texas a while back. There was some controversy about, where DeLuna was breaking from. And, you know, I wonder if that gave Federer a little extra motivation in that match, but he cruises
We know what
11-1.
happens to Federer when he gets extra motivation.
Yeah, exactly. But that sets up the second round match of Federer against Roberto. I think most people are going to pick Federer in that match. Pretty right.
I, I mean,
Got
I
me.
think that if there's going to be a stumbling block, Roberto is not, or if there's going to be someone you want to look past, it ain't going to be Roberto. Roberto can
Yeah,
play on a Bigfoot.
yeah.
Roberto's got a really big break. I think where years past where he showed some dog that he's got in him, or some spots where he can choke under pressure. I think that those are going less and less, and he's shown that he's been in finals throughout the course of the last 12 months or so, pretty consistently wherever he's playing at. Um, Obviously, Federer's going to be a big favorite on paper, but like from a handicapping standpoint, if you give me Roberto getting a few games, I'm firing at that. And even if the money line was right, I would like Roberto in that as well because Roberto can get there against Federer.
Hit
Yeah.
him up in Messenger, folks. You'll get down with Molina Mike.
Yeah.
All right, the bottom
Plus
half of the
three.
bracket, which I think overall is probably seems to be the weaker end of the bracket, although there's
Yeah.
still world class players in there. We
Yeah.
got Mika.
Lee Van looks pretty, sexy down that side of the bracket.
Well, until you get down to the bottom of it. But yeah, in the top quadrant, I guess, you got Corteza versus Roland Garcia, and you got Fortunsky against Mika Immonen. Um, thoughts? Any thoughts, guys?
I like Mika. I like Mika coming out of that first round matchup against Misko. As someone who's bet against Mika a lot in this event over the years, trust me, he can play on a 10-foot table because I've lost a lot of money betting on Mika playing playing in the Bigfoot. I promise you, I
Betting
have
against him, you mean?
betting against them. Yeah, betting against
Yeah.
them. So, and what I mean by that is I've seen him against where he's an underdog, where I think he's an underdog, uh, where he just wins outright. I mean, in those four, it's leave and or bust. I feel like, but
What would you say the line is on that one?
against Fortunsky,
Yeah.
all even money. I mean, Misko's the younger player and more vogue. I feel like to an extent. So I think that part of it makes him more of an even. But I would take Mika. Even I would take Mika. And Roland on that Roland Lee band, Roland's a little wily. Like he can stick around. He can stick around. Like if it's 8-7, look out because he can steal one at the end. I love Lee Van. I haven't seen him play in a while, but I know he's had a lot of success at Derby. He's a very underrated Filipino player. He's super tough to play against. I'm gonna go with Lee Van in that round, but would I be shocked if it was a close win for Roland? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
I think
I like
Roland's got a chance if they're playing 9 ball. I don't know about 10 ball, but go ahead, Pinozo.
I would say I like Raymond's comment. I'm sure he's talking about the Mika Misko match. Who has the higher tilt gear?
Now, Mika's the goat. Mika's definitely the goat there. Yeah, and Mika I feel like gets away with a lot in that regard. Like
Yeah.
everybody just like they don't say anything about it. It's just Mika being Mika.
Well, but yeah, it is. It's Mika being Mika, and you see it. It's not like it jumps out in the middle of a match. It's like from all of a sudden the lag goes short for him, and his hands are going like
Yeah,
this, and
his eyes are rolling. The wing ball goes in, and he's just fucking shrugging his shoulders like this. Yeah, it's beautiful.
He's fun to watch, though, man. I
He
love watching
is.
that guy
I love
play.
watching Mika play. Yeah, without a doubt.
All right, boys. I got a hard stop in 5 minutes. So we
All
got
right.
John Mora versus Conrad, the other Polish player in the event, and then Josh Filler versus Atencio.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, give me Conrad, and I'm gonna listen. Jesus, I'm gonna be like getting the 3 like Roberto. I like Jesus probably getting 3 against Josh. I think Josh's 10 ball break is not as dominant as some of these other big boys that are out there. I think Jesus has a big 10 ball break. I think he can make a deep run. Has he done it before against top level players? No, but I think he's knocking on the door, and this may be his chance to really show that he's in that same class for Jesus anyway.
yeah.
What do you think about the chances of Filler getting knocked off in round 1 or round 2?
I think if he wins round 1, he's going to be in the final 4.
You think
What I
so?
think. Yeah, I think so.
I would
Without a
agree
doubt.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you guys had to pick your finals for this event, seeing the whole bracket now, who you got, Pinozo?
The final match or the final 4? Which what are you
Final
talking
match.
about?
Final match.
The final match. I will go Lee Van and Jason.
Whew, that's pretty good.
How about you, Mike?
I was going to pick Lee Van too until Mike did that, so I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go and say I'm going to
that has
say
an impact on the
God
actual
forbid
match.
you agree with me.
oh, I can't do that. It's against my religion, Mike. I'm going to go with Jesus versus Federer in the final.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
You're
you
just
are
trying
reaching
to be.
there.
You're trying to be dramatic.
Well, I could go chalk and say I want to see Josh and Federer play, but I mean that's no fun. That's the obvious. So someone's
All
got
right,
to
I'm
gamble
going-
around here, Mr. $20.
I'm going Lee Van. I'm going Lee Van and Federer. Book it. Let's
Wow,
get
what a
down.
shot.
All right, so Molina, let people know how they can go and check out the action at Derby City Classic online.
AccuStats has the pay-per-view for all the TV table matchups. They're doing the Bigfoot, I think, through tomorrow, and then after that, they'll shift into finals of Banks, One Pocket, and then 9 ball as well. Pool Action TV has one of the action rooms, and then Omega TV has the other action room, which last night Tony and Filler played a pretty juicy matchup of One Pocket. So a lot of
Who
stuff
ended
going
up winning
on.
that, Mike?
Where did that go? Where did that end up?
Josh
I
won
know-
Hill. Josh was up
Did he really?
3-0. Yeah, Josh
Yeah,
up 3-0, goes up 5-3. Tony makes it Hill, and then Josh wins Hill. So
Wow.
yeah, I think if Josh stays around in the States, he's going to end up playing Tony real big set, would be my guess. But
Did you catch that last game, Mike?
no, I was asleep.
Oh man, yeah, it would have been nice to check out. But all right, guys, I got to head out to the soccer fields. Thanks so much for joining. We really appreciate you guys. Remember, if you can, do us a favor and check out patreon.com/dogging it. We got a lot of different options over there for you, and we really appreciate the support. Pinozo, thanks for getting out of bed and joining us. Appreciate it.
Can I go back to bed now?
Yeah, you can go back to bed. Let's get together, guys, Sunday night or something. Chat about it.
We'll see you at Derby later, y'all.
All right.